my grandparents get a call that my uncle is going to prison for acts against corpses.
I mean, that...
pretty much taking
I
and
can see
selling
where that
body
landed up
parts
there.
to shape.
DerekFDB is about to go over y'all's viewer confessions, and I'm not gonna lie, we all know when viewers, y'all be saying some wild things. We just see D-Generosity do this before, and we know how that went. So prepare yourself for what you about to see. If y'all don't hit that like button, that sub button, and the goal is to get to 1,500 subscribers. Right now we're like 1,400. You know what I'm saying? So we're pretty close. We're not close, but you know what I mean. We could do it in about 2 months, I think. So y'all hit that sub button. But let's get to it. All right, y'all. This is DerekFDB. Most disturbing viewer confessions. So we already know it's about to be bad. So prepare yourself, y'all, please.
There's something we all have, and the other day I asked you guys to send me some of yours.
Yes, sir.
Or what you may have been asking. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be exposing some of your
I'm a little nervous.
Darkest secrets.
I'm a little nervous,
of course. And I gotta say it now, y'all went crazy with these.
Is that a good way? Is that a good
in
thing?
a bad way. Some of these range from Sweet Home Alabama stuff to straight up crimes. A lot of Willie touching and trauma. All this to say, I love y'all. Please seek professional help and press charges if needed. I'm praying for y'all. Also to switch it up, I'll be confessing something I've been wanting to tell you guys for a long.
Hold on, Derek. What you got to tell us?
Long time. But that's at the end though. All right, let's start. So I had a girlfriend, and when we were chilling, she was in my apartment. She was taking a shower, and I see a notification on her phone. It was from my best friend Alex, and it was nudes. I snapped, but instead of showing her, I waited. I even married this, but at the wedding, before the vows, in front of her family and friends on the TV, I said I had something to show.
I think
Just
you played
then,
yourself.
I showed it on the TV, and every single message showed up, and she got dragged out the wedding. By the way, I love your videos.
I don't know if that's really like
this. Making a whole PowerPoint
is that
to
worth
expose
it?
your cheating fiance.
You just pay for the wedding, right?
The dedication for the revenge and the patience too. I wouldn't have waited till the wedding. I mean, I wouldn't have waited at all. I would have been in prison. Double
you have to pay for the wedding, bro.
In a wheelchair, but I can move my left leg a little.
Okay,
just
shout
enough
left
to
leg.
lightly kick some. Nobody at school besides close friends knew that. So I would kick this one classmate when nobody was looking. And when he'd tell people I kicked him, I pretended to cry and say he's mocking the handicap. Everyone thought he was a jerk for lying. And when people looked away, I gave him an evil grin. This went on throughout the year, and he got bullied for bullying me. I'm sorry, Michael, but not really. Yo, this is so messed up, but it's hilarious. I don't blame you. If I was in your shoes, I mean, F it. Might as well test out the water.
I don't got nothing to lose.
See how much you could get away with. I had this one friend who was basically the weeb final boss. This man had so many body pillows in his room. He was incredibly obese. But worst of all,
wait, how do you know how many body pillows he had in his room?
League of Legends. I'm also convinced he doesn't know what grass is. I've tried many times to cure this man from his diseases until one day I had enough. I said if he didn't get rid of at least 15 body pillows in a week, I'd do something very deep.
Hold on. I'm done pausing this. He said at least 15. So how many were in there to say at least? Like,
he didn't believe me since I was the nice guy.
He probably had about 30.
He was dead wrong. After that week, I snuck into his house and threw all of the 35 body pillows outside. And I set them all on fire. The fire department showed up because the fire got way too big and still no one knows it was me. I also smashed his PC with a hammer.
What the?
League of Legends. I'm in full agreement with you. If I had a weeaboo friend, I'd do the same thing. Like, I like anime.
All, how did he become your friend?
You like anime. And honestly, you did him a favor getting rid of his PC. Not only did you get rid of League, but you could have easily gotten his PC searched. I mean, 35 body pillows? Once you get past 20, that's probable cause.
20?
We don't know what you got on that device. Okay, so one time, me and my friend spent the night at an abandoned house, and we decided to play around with a Ouija board. And we thought nothing would happen. But the minute we started to play around with it, our EMF reader went off like crazy. It went all the way to red, and we saw a cabinet fall down right next to us. And I did the smartest thing, which was getting the heck out of there. Long story short, apparently that house was built on top of a graveyard. Love your videos, by the way. Ouija board, abandoned house.
Went wrong.
You don't even got to tell me
what
a
lot of places
look like. I'm already knowing. All those incantation games, Bloody Mary, Charlie, that stuff, never my vibe. For what? I summoned some entity, then 15 years later, my kids talking about some imaginary friend that don't like me? I'm good. And y'all use the Ouija board. That means you're tapping in with every spirit within a 5-mile radius, like it's Tinder or something. Yeah, built on a graveyard.
Ghost Tinder is crazy.
Tripping. Back when I was in middle school and my parents
they got that Ghost Tinder.
I would dunk their toothbrush in the
toilet. The ghost probably a little thick. You know what I mean?
And flush it. After that, I put it back like nothing was wrong. I did that for months, smiling when they brushed their teeth with toilet water. I haven't told a soul. Sorry.
Why?
What is wrong with y'all?
Facts.
These are your parents. They raised you while you were practically useless, fed you, bathed you, and
probably
you
still
rewarded them
useless.
with toilet bowl water, toothbrushes. You think that's right? What were they doing that was getting you so mad that you had to do this? Telling you to do your homework, telling you can't hang out with friends? Y'all are sick. Alright, so pretty much in 10th grade, there was this weird girl who had a crush on me.
Okay.
She was crazy AF and would get jealous if I talked to anyone besides her for any amount of time.
Like
we weren't dating or anything. So eventually, when she asked me out, I said no. She got mad, like crazy, man.
Well, she
Somehow
mad or
she
she
found out where I
decent?
live and threw a box over my back fence. And
might
when I
need
opened it,
that.
I saw a decapitated teddy bear and a note covered in red splatter, which I did not read for obvious reasons. Anyway, since she was a good student, she got all the awards or whatever. So during the assembly, I read the note in front of the whole school. It just said how she was going to murk my family or whatever. And I'm pretty sure she got sent to an insane asylum or something. I don't know. Love the vids. Alright, so
you probably was talking to her on the low.
low-key crazy, but hear me out. I low-key think you fumbled. Hold on, now hear me. You can see this
with
two
you,
ways.
bro. Hey,
yeah,
Derek,
you
I'm
can
with
see
you.
it as this girl might be crazy. She was getting jealous, sent a couple threats. You know, she's a typical nutcase.
Keep cooking.
Or
I'm letting him cook. Hold on, y'all.
potentially be the love of your life. I mean, just think about it. If she's willing to pack you up for just talking to others, imagine what she'd do for you after y'all are together. No need to thank me, but I just gave you a crazy idea, bro. No pun intended.
Go bet her at that asylum
she was admitted to and go get her back. That's your love Quinn right there. This was a few years ago when I was like 9 or 10. I was dog sitting my cousins, Oscar, and my sister and I were playing with the dog. I was pretending to be a dog, and my sister said, the real dog will pee on the floor right now. I peed on the rug as my sister watched in horror. We blamed Oscar and my mom had to clean it up. I haven't told anyone. Yes, I'm ashamed for what I did and I cringe each time I remember. See, I was gonna flame you, but I think you've learned your lesson, so I'm gonna let you slide. I mean, you know, at least pat yourself on the back or the head, because you stayed in character. Killed my aunt's baby chicken with a rake because I felt like the family grilled my sociopathic the whole evening, and every time I pleaded not guilty, I was 8. Man, I hope I win your PS5 offer this year from Uganda, Africa. Didn't win last year. Name's Ernest. Love your videos. Took me through some college days of listening to you talk about stuff. Well, Ernest, after the story you just told me, you will not be winning that PS5. This is my darkest secret. I stole my ex-best friend's boyfriend from her while she was in the hospital with pneumonia. And 2 years later, she died and we went to her funeral. 4 years later, we got married. Okay, so by ex-best friend, you mean she backstabbed you prior to passing away, which led you to take her boyfriend in an act of revenge, right? You don't mean she was actually your best friend and you just took her boyfriend while she was dying in the hospital, right? This is so messed up. I can't even defend you. Did y'all at least tell her, you know, try to get the blessing or something? I mean, should you even tell her she's already dying? This is so messed up. You might be a monster. I'm starting to realize I was in some really bad fandoms within my childhood. Since I was 3 or 4, don't remember, I was in the Sonic fandom, then the FNAF fandom, then the Undertale fandom, then the Sonic fandom again, in that order. I was about to be such into the My Hero Academia fandom before I matured. Whew, you cut it close, buddy. But the damage those fandoms did to me was already done and was bad. Mainly the FNAF fandom. It broke my humor to pieces because of the content farms, and my music taste was ruined thanks to the fan music for a good while. Until I found heavy metal because of Metallica. In a word of advice to people who are still in a bad fandom, save yourself while you still can. Trust me, you'll be happier. I'm glad you got out early. Describe a fandom. You are definitely right. Some of these fandoms can get crazy, especially the FNAF and My Hero fandoms. I'm a fan of both of these, but man, I've seen some weird stuff in both. I used to talk to photos of William Afton like he was my husband, and not Claire Afton's. I did more than talk to the photos. Y'all see what I was talking about? First off, Derek, I'd like to say I've been a huge fan of yours since your Yeet Fans video. Please keep making videos. They keep you from wanting to blow. Moving on to the confession. Make sure to strap down because this one is a lot. Back when I was 7 years old, I had this very weird uncle. And I don't mean just the kind of weird you see from those kids across a classroom. I mean weird. He worked in those fancy labs, I forgot the name, that would look at the bodies of the deceased. He would always brag about how brave he was to do such a job and how much money he made. But what made it a bit weird is that he'd go in grave detail about what happened to the bodies. Example, how they died, what they looked like, and if they were female, how big their were. Now, being 7, I didn't really understand what he was talking about. To a 7-year-old? But my dad sure did, and pretty much yelled at him to never bring it up again. But every time he left the room, he just keep talking about it to me and my sister. I'm not sure why he thought a 7 and 4-year-old would be interested in that stuff, but everyone's got a hobby, I guess. Soon after I turned 9, he moved states and pretty much cut contact with everyone. And for a few years, no one knew what was going on or where he was. Fast forward to my 12th birthday, and my grandparents get a call that my uncle was going to prison for acts against corpses.
I mean, that...
and pretty much taking and selling body parts to shady people. Which probably explain why he made so much money. Not only was his habit
All
of
the
liking
signs
dead
was
bodies
there.
weird, but apparently he loved the fact that dead people can't really overpower him. Oh my. So he'd pretty much do whatever he wanted to them. My whole family had to go to court and pretty much watch as he started tweeting at the judge saying the court was all BS and that the government was a bunch of corrupted idiots. He had some strong political beliefs. And in the end, he was given life in prison, and I haven't heard anything about him other than the fact that he bit an inmate's ear off.
Mike Tyson.
But Derek, I'm a huge fan of your videos. Keep up the good work. I'm always watching you.
That's a crazy way to end it.
I don't think your uncle was supposed to be doing that. Y'all know how they be saying there were no signs? Yeah, that's not the case here. There were plenty. The second he started discussing the cup size of deceased women, GG's, found the place. Send that man to the same asylum that girl went to. On a serious note, I'm sorry you and your sister and your dad and your grandparents had to go through that. On the bright side, this kind of stuff isn't hereditary, and when he was telling you about it, you were too young to even understand what was going on, so, you know, he couldn't influence you.
Or were you?
I hope. I'm gonna be honest. I racist, but I love your content. I rarely see black people in my country, and when I see one, I'm gonna just read it normally. I rarely see black people in my country, and when I see one, I feel hatred and anger for some reason. Me and my friends are saying that secretly so they won't get angry, and also, only one of our friends is black. See, people like this just confuse me. What do you-
What? For some reason?
You mean you just feel hatred and anger?
Is that all
for
you
no
had to say?
reason? It gotta stem from somewhere. Did a black dude date your crush in middle school? Did a black girl reject you when you were young? Both of these are still not valid enough reasons to hate a whole race. But if you're gonna be racist, at least have a reason.
Have a reason.
You just feel it. You don't just feel it. You didn't come out the womb saying goo goo gaga. All lives matter. As for the N-word thing, why are you doing it in secret? If you gonna hate proudly,
do it in public.
Shoot for the stars. Come to the Bronx. I know some nice products that will happily adopt you and welcome you in after you say it to their face. Shoot me an email or a DM on IG. I'll fly you out. Thanks for the love. Hey, so like,
let me see it. Make sure you show me his DM too.
Chopped, but you
holler at him.
Good chop. I don't know what that means. I've been liking him for about 6 months, and during that time, I found his address, entire family's Facebook. Love everyone. Find out what happened to his dad in jail, his secret YouTube channel, and a 200 photo album of photos of him he doesn't know I took, Facebook photos, driver's permit, and more to the list, but I ain't trying to write a Bible in here. But in conclusion, love your vids, appreciate you very much, and I'm just a girl, and he will be mine. He doesn't like me, but trust, I'm gonna get the bag.
I think you need to be in that asylum as well.
Now, some of y'all may be looking at the screen shocked right now about how she found out all this information. And if it was a few years ago, I'd be too. But no, this is normal. For my fellas at home watching this, girls are little detectives. Imagine Batman and Sherlock Holmes combined and now throw them out the window. Because the average girl's a better detective than both of them. So just know, whatever you think she don't know, she knows. When I was 12, I collected my toenail clippings in a jar for 6 months. Convinced I could grow a clone of myself if I mixed them with the right ingredients. I kept it hidden under my bed. Nails, bits of chewed gum, a dead moth, some blood from a nosebleed, and a slice of ham that turned green by week 3. I stirred it daily with a pencil. Whispering nonsense I believed sounded like ancient magic. It stank like rot and regret, but I was obsessed. One night, I swear it moved. I heard sloshing, and when I lifted the lid, something inside hissed. I screamed and threw the whole jar out the window. My neighbor's dog ate the contents and had to be taken to the vet after vomiting black sludge all over the living room. I never told anyone what was really in that jar. To this day, I wonder what might have happened if I had kept feeding it. I love your videos.
If I kept feeding it.
Drop the OnlyFans. Am I tripping? Or was this dude just making Kenneth from Gumbo? So
he was kind of cooking with that. The Chipmunks. The ending was crazy.
Wait, what you mean, Britt? Oh. My grandma came to visit from DR, but she was so annoying and picky, so I put laxatives in my grandma's juice. Grandma! I wanted her to feel sick and leave back to DR. Yeah, I revoke your Dominican status. You're no longer Dominican.
What did grandma do?
What's wrong with you? You know the rules. You never disrespect abuelitas, no matter how disrespectful they are to you. Apologize to Granny and you go back to the motherland if you want to be Dominican again. In elementary school, I hit a black girl with a jump rope and said, get back to work. Oh my. See, for every white person that still blames themselves for colonization, there's kids like this. I blame the parents. Alright, last one, then my confession.
What?
I kind of regret doing this, but this story begins when I was playing outside in the backyard with my friend James.
Shout out James.
We were playing football, we were having fun and all, but James kicked the ball into our neighbor's backyard. But he was traveling, so he didn't know. We went to his house to get the ball, but we found a pressure washer. We were kids at the time, around 12 years old. I've never seen one before, so I was confused on what it was. I thought it was a gas tank thingy in the gas station. So I just pointed it towards the ground to check, and it was water. 12-year-old me was fascinated.
Don't tell you pointed at James.
So much so that I forgot about the ball. But suddenly the neighbor's dog barks at me and scares me.
You
So out of
sprayed the
panic,
dog?
I shoot the dog with the pressure washer. And I didn't know it got hurt, so I just kept going for a solid 2 minutes. I stop the thing and go to the dog. I look over to it and it's not moving.
Oh,
the thing
God,
went straight through its forehead and I could see its skull. Oh my. I didn't know if it killed her or not, but I just took the ball and ran. I never saw that dog again. James witnessed the whole thing, but he hasn't told a soul. I trust James with my life. I do feel bad about this though, because sometimes I see my neighbor outside and she's sad. I still talk to her though, but I feel guilty every time I do so. Yo, this is...
You're a murderer.
This is dark. Like,
No,
I read a few of these confessions.
I think I
People
need to
murdering their
report you.
pets, that seems to be commonplace. But this one takes the cake. I don't even know what to say. I guess don't be too hard on yourself. You were just a kid. You didn't mean to do it.
He was
But
12.
at the same time, dang, that's someone's dog.
Yeah,
And
I
I
need to
don't mean
report
like
you.
dog. I mean your dog. Because, you know, when you love your dog
Facts.
enough, he becomes your dog. You
That's
feel
your
me?
dog,
Hey,
dog.
I really don't know. Shout out James. He's really your dog. Now,
James
the moment
is
you've
the
all
dog.
been waiting for,
But I need to
my
report him.
confession. But
Okay.
before that, it's time for a rapid fire round. I one
Hey.
time was so down bad for a girl. She came to my house and used the restroom. I went to the restroom when she finished and just laid my face on the toilet seat. You are bad at Minecraft. No cap. When I was little, I had the biggest crush on Kim possible. I asked my
Okay.
parents to buy me a Kim toy for Christmas and I got it.
What you do with it?
I would literally lick it before bed. I bought the Switch 2 welcome tour. I made my friends break up so I could date one. Then I broke her arm pushing her on a playground.
What's
I
up
do not
with you?
want to tell anybody.
What's up with you
But
guys?
since you asked, I must tell you that I am the Rizzler. I see dead people. I love you, Derek. My friend once told me he beat it to a girl Bitmoji.
Yeah,
I got
that's
smashed
down
in the head
bad.
by a chair
That's
in
down
school.
bad.
I smashed a chair over this kid's head, and now my confession.
Okay, that's
so
what
I've
we're
been
waiting
very
for.
open to you guys about things related to me. Y'all
Okay.
know where I'm from, things I like watching, stuff I'm allergic to. I mean, I talk to some of y'all every day on Discord.
Okay, keep
I had
cooking.
to plug it, but it's important to the confession. On that Discord, I receive fan art
Oh,
sometimes.
no.
And when I say I appreciate the fan art, I truly do
What happened?
appreciate it. All of y'all dedicating even an hour, 30 minutes,
What
30
happened,
seconds
bruh?
of your time to draw me something, that means the world to me. But there is
Invincible,
one
that's
issue
fire, that
with
was
the
fire.
vast majority of those drawings. One thing you guys don't seem to notice when looking at my PSP.
That's not you?
Something that might change the way you guys look
No
at
way.
me forever. Probably not. And that is, my hair is straight. I know. I don't have an afro or twist or
Wait,
dreads or
what?
curly hair at all. I'm like Cat Williams, but it's real. But Derek,
Hey,
I
yo.
thought you were Dominican. I am Dominican. It's not that common, but sometimes, even if your parents are both naturally curly haired, that Spanish colonizer Christopher Columbus blood comes through and creates Dominicans like me, the racially ambiguous ones. I've been called everything
There's
in
no
the
way.
book. Asian and black, Arab and black, Indian and black, Moroccan. I've even been called exotic. Ugh.
Exotic
I was
is
hated and
interesting.
loved for it as a child. Older Dominican family members would glaze me, telling me I have the good hair. Yeah, I know, that's crazy.
Shaking my
While the
head.
younger ones, they ain't received the same glaze, so you could imagine how they felt
they
about
was
me.
hating.
This treatment I received all ties back to some Dominican history I'm not gonna get into now. Just know, we had a dictator back in the day that was more into white chocolate over chocolate.
Okay.
And he was influenced by Hitler, which led to Dominicans hating on themselves and each other, internalized racism, blah, blah, blah. But that's not the point.
Shaking my
Point
head,
is,
man.
my hair is straight, okay? It's straight.
Show us a
There are
picture,
some
bruh.
advantages to this racial ambiguity, though. For example, when I'm walking around white neighborhoods hoodied up, and I sense an older white man threatened by my presence, you know,
Put a hood
speed
down.
walking and stuff, I can simply take my hood off, revealing my straight hair, you know, letting them know, hey, I'm one of you guys. Kinda, and easing
Hey,
some of
yeah.
the tension. Sometimes
He's like, oh, he's
they
one of the
keep
good
speed
ones.
walking, browner skin and all. But hey, sometimes they slow
yeah.
down by a step or two. So yeah, it ain't all bad. I hope y'all still love me and accept me with this newfound
I don't know how I
information.
feel,
I didn't
so I'm
want y'all to
playing.
just keep drawing me with curly hair. It felt like I was living a lie. But yeah, thanks for the art. Comment down
Wow.
below the confession you thought was the craziest or the funniest. I
what
will
was
be
the
doing a
craziest
sequel
one?
eventually, so be on the lookout for an outro or a post on YouTube or IG on the Discord. Thank you to everyone who submitted a
Yes,
confession.
sir.
I really do love you guys, even the deviants.
Y'all are
Please seek
crazy.
professional help if you need it. Men and women, both of you, please. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I
Not for
promise.
everybody.
And yeah, I love you guys. I hope y'all still love me. And moral of the story,
Please tell me, what's the moral?
I didn't subscribe to you.
Don't say the DerekFDB page. Honestly, some of y'all surprised me. This is definitely up the top 3, one of the worst ones. If I had to pick the worst one from this video, it either is gonna have to be the dog, with the person that shot the dog with the water pressure. You evil, you're a murderer. Or it's number 2, probably the person that put his face on the person's seat after they use the bathroom because you sick. She could have dropped a deuce and you don't even know what she did in there. If she dropped a deuce in there and left the bomb and you put your face on the seat, she probably did. You probably didn't even tell us. But man, y'all confessions never seem to surprise me. They always crazy, man. I'm not gonna lie, but he just reminded me of something to you. Make sure y'all join my Discord as well. I had the link down below in the description. Y'all join my Discord. We can talk in there. We can give me suggestions, reactions, all that stuff. So make sure y'all join that. Bet that like button, that sub. Bunch of boy DK. The goal is 1,500 subscribers. We're at 1,400. Let's get it up. But yeah.